G'day legends, how you all going? Luke here with the Aussie filter.
Please adhere to YouTube selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviour shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during this video. All actions are performed by professionals.
I was thinking about this story the other day, and I thought I should share it with my people, with the audience, because it was goddamn funny and it's related to smoking. So let's share a story. In a previous video, I was talking about where smoking inside and where you can smoke and where you can't smoke. Well, a funny story. Here in Romania, I wanted to share a funny story with you that I observed a couple of months back. Now, in the part of Romania I live, they had this festival. It was the sympathy of sympathy. They weren't sympathizing. It was I don't know. It was like a festival of flowers, something like that. They call it something. I can't really remember. But it was a festival of flowers, and my wife wanted to go. She had a friend here, and they wanted to go. So, old Lukey boy, he had to tag along because that's what a good husband does. That's a tip for all you people that aren't married. Your wife says do something, or she invites you to go somewhere, the answer is, yes, my love, I would love to go. Keeps the peace. But anyways, back to the story. So we go to this festival of flowers and we're walking around and, looking at flowers. Not the most exciting thing for me to be doing, but hey, why not? And later on in the day, we decide that it's time to eat something. And we're looking at all the food trucks. There's all sorts of different trucks that are selling hamburgers and barbecue and stuff like that. But it was pretty busy and there was nowhere to sit down to eat. So we decided that there was a restaurant terrace. Fuck, I can't even speak today. A terrace just at the beginning of the entrance there. So we decided, right, that's where we're going to go. We'll go up there, we'll have a drink and something to eat, and that'll be all good. So we get to this place and it's packed. So that's not going to work too well, but we managed to find a table and the three of us sat down. And where we sat, on the table, there's an ashtray. But on the wall, there's a sign that says no smoking. Directly under the table's directly under this sign. I looked up at it and pointed at us. We can't smoke in here. We'll have to go outside and smoke, and not to lose the table, we'll probably have to go one at a time. And so we're sitting there and we're debating, because my wife being Romanian and her friend being Romanian saying, nah, I'm not going outside to smoke, we'll just smoke here. And me being a rule follower, I'm like, you can't smoke here. There's a sign right there. It says, no smoking. And no sooner had those words come out of my mouth, at the table next to us, someone lit up a cigarette. And my wife and her friend go, see, nobody cares. And the wait staff and the people that were working there just walked past, didn't say a word to them, nothing. They just lit up a cigarette and smoked. And I'll be like, I'll be damned. I still got up and went outside and had a smoke, because me being Australian, there's certain things that you just don't do. Like, I'm not a big fan of smoking indoors anyway. I feel very uncomfortable smoking inside, because I do have that respect for other people that they might not want to smoke, even if the table next to me smoking, doesn't matter. There was a side story when we moved here to Romania. I don't know where my dog went. Oh, she's behind me. She's over. Oh no, you can't see. You can just see her head over my corner there, over my shoulder there. We had to fly our dog back from Cyprus, and she came 2 weeks before we arrived. So we dropped her off at a friend's place. So when we arrived, I immediately went and got her. Now, where she was is about an hour, hour and a half away from where we live. So we arrived at midnight, took 2 hours to get here, and then another hour. So it was like, it was about oh no, it was late. It was about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning by the time I went and got Taya, the dog. And our friend, she was waiting for me. She had a cup of coffee, and she's just like, "Have a smoke," and stay inside, like sitting inside in the kitchen, have a smoke. And I was like, "Oh, I don't really want to smoke inside. I don't like." She goes, "Ah, don't worry about it. It's all good. I smoke here all the time, every day. I don't go outside to smoke. You can smoke inside." So I did, but it was very uncomfortable. So I quickly had a cigarette and drank a cup of coffee and picked up the dog, and on my way came back home. But it just really does make me feel uncomfortable smoking inside. I've never liked it, never done it really. So this day that we're at the Festival of Flowers, we're sitting inside this restaurant, and as I said, there's a no smoking sign, but an ashtray, and people are there smoking. But I still went outside and smoked. So by the time I come back in from the having a cigarette, my wife had ordered for me, and got some drinks and well ordered some drinks. And we're sitting at the table, and about half an hour had gone by, and we're watching food come out, we're watching drinks leave the bar, but none of them was coming our way. And we're just, doing this, watching everything go by. We're not that far away, and another group of people came into the pub terrace, whatever you want to call it. And there was no tables, but we had a bigger table than was needed for the three of us. So they asked if they could share our table, and we're like, yeah, sure, no worries. So they sat down, they got some menus, they ordered, and then the waiter just looked at us and he said, "Do you want to order?" And I looked at my wife and I said, "I thought you said you already ordered." And she said, "We did." So we told the waiter, and he's like, "Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot to put it in." So we've been sitting there probably all up from the time that we walked into that point of time. We've probably been sitting there for just under an hour. It was like 50 minutes at least. He's like, "You want to order again?" I thought, fuck no. Oh, fuck that. We already ordered once. You didn't bring us our drinks. You didn't bring us our food. You didn't even put it in the machine, so nobody even knows that we ordered. I said, "Ah, fuck that. We're out of here." So we got up and left. And but it stuck with me, not just how it ended with the waiter forgetting to put our order in. Now, don't get me started on that, because how hard is it? That's your fucking job. You go and take an order and you put it into the machine, and then when the number comes up, you deliver the food. And they expect a tip along with it. One day we'll talk about tipping, because maybe being an Australian, I'm very anti-tipping, even though I have come around to it in the last 5 or 6 years, because tipping is a thing here. Oh yeah, it was it pissed me off. So then we jumped in the car and we went somewhere else, and we actually got some really good food that day. But I was like, still blown away that they've got no smoking signs all around the place, and people just don't give a fuck. I'm not going outside to smoke. Fuck that. And they put ashtrays out. Like, how can you have two different messages? We'll put the ashtrays out, but we also, I don't know, by law or something, that you got to put no smoking signs up. But we're not going to enforce it. We just don't care. I was thinking how different life is here to back in Australia. I remember my sister, admittedly, it was a hospital. She was in hospital for something, I don't know. And she wanted to have a cigarette, and she had to leave the hospital grounds. It wasn't good enough just being outside. She actually had to get off the property, had to go out and stand on the street, and not just on the street and down the road a bit. So she's out there, she's got a drip hanging off her and everything. So walking down the street, hooked up to an IV to have a cigarette. Pretty funny sight, because it just so happened that I actually saw her because I was driving past, actually going to see her, so I had to drive past the hospital to get to the car park, and here she is about 50 metres away from the bus stop, standing on the side, hand on the pole, cigarette in the mouth. Blew the horn, give her a wave. How you going? See you in a minute. Wait there. I'll come to you. Then we walk back into the hospital. But how different it is from Australia to here in Romania. And every country that I've been here in Europe, and I've been to a few, smoking is just part of the culture. But it's not frowned upon here as much as it is in other parts of the world. Like, I got some American friends, and they tell me that, yeah, you're treated like a second class citizen if you smoke. And it's the same in Australia. That's what they're trying to turn it into. Like, that you're the dirty, scummy people. But if you smoke, you smoke. They just try to make you feel as uncomfortable as they possibly can. If you heard that, that's my dog saying good morning to the neighbours. But I kind of like this European culture of, you sit out on the terrace, or even if it's too hot or too cold and you sit inside, you can still have a cigarette. You don't have to go out and stand on the corner like a stray dog. So that's it, legends. Have a good day.